Once again, on behalf of the Ahmedabad Management Association, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you to today's excellent program that we have on the future of supply chain. Very happy to see all of you come to attend the same. We are fortunate at AMA to time and again have very reputed people come and take sessions, especially the open forums for the benefit of society and industry at large. And today, once again, I'm very happy to say that in Mr. Harsh, the way we have a very acclaimed and I must say accomplished faculty to talk to us about the future of supply chain. Thank you so much, Harsh bhai, for having accepted the invitation of Ahmedabad Management Association and being with us today evening. Thank you to all of you for being present today. It certainly means a lot to us at Ahmedabad Management Association to have your presence. What I'm going to do is quickly going to introduce Mr. Harsh Dave to all of you and then leave the stage for him. And in the end, of course, if there are some questions, we will be happy to take them. And otherwise, we could wrap up with the summary of the session. I'm also happy to say that Mr. Dave is going to be with us tomorrow as well, sir, if I'm not wrong, for an MDP on that we are doing here. So as a guest faculty, he'll be here tomorrow with us as well as a part of the MDP. So Mr. Dave is CEO and co-founder of Astra Electronics. It's the sourcing consultancy for electric vehicles and semiconductors with more than 15 years of experience in strategic sourcing and supply chain in consultancy, oil and gas and automotive industries. Mr. Dave has previously worked with BMW as a global sourcing lead, Mahindra, Tata and TCS. Is also a certified auditor for supplier risk management. He holds BE and PGDM in SCM from BK School of Management and certificate in advanced supply chain from IIM Rohtak. He is a public speaker and has taken guest sessions at institutes like IIM, Adani and many more. We are very happy to once again have you, and as I welcome him with a token of our love and gratitude on behalf of AMA, can we have a loud round of applause from all of you? All right, so that is it from my end. I'm going to leave the podium for Harsh bhai to take us through, but I'm very happy to say that we have a lot of youngsters in the room because traditionally, as I understand, careers for us always meant CA, LLB, lawyer, doctor, engineer, at the most export import, but supply chain, logistics, sustainability, these are some of the emerging career options as well. So at a very young age, you are trying to get an exposure in a very diverse set of areas apart from the specialization and master's area that you might be aiming. I'm happy that you all have come here today evening, and I'm sure that this will be an enriching experience for all of you. Yep, thank you. All those who are just joining in, if you could come and sit here in the front as well, it will be helpful for the faculty to interact more powerfully. Thank you. Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Shah, for a wonderful introduction. Okay. So, good evening, all of you. Hope you all are fine. So, try to make this session more interactive, okay? Because I am here to share some of my experience, and I am happy if I learn something from you also, okay? Because most of you maybe experience in a different industry, so I am happy to learn also. So let's make this session interactive, okay? In case you have any doubt, any question, you can ask me, you can interrupt me, okay? Okay. So, I just would like to understand how many of you are from corporate? Just raise your hand. Means you have working experience in supply chain? Okay, so balance are the students, right? Okay. Okay, so I am trying to cover today. I think you attend this session, मतलब you know the what is the supply chain, right? वो सबको पता होता है कि क्या supply chain है. So I'm not going to repeat it, the basic things, because you know that. I'm trying to explain what is the next normal supply chains. Okay, so after COVID, many things getting changed. Okay, supply, and there's a major change in supply chains. उसके पहले supply chain department को supply chain is important, but maybe logistics को लोग ignore करते थे corporate में, to be very honest. But after COVID उनको realize हुआ कि it's one of the important department. Okay, so I'm trying to explain you what is the next normal supply chain. Second, supply chain is no more operational department now. Okay, because of the shift from normal to e-commerce and all, so supply chain is now become a revenue generator. I will show you some example also. Sustainability in supply chain, somehow we are ignoring this topic, but it's one of the very, very important topic. I will explain you why it is important and how the industry is working towards this sustainability in a supply chain. And technology in supply chain, what are the technology we can use? Okay, so let's understand the normal supply chain is what? Supply chain is a service, cost and quality, right? It's a very traditional supply chain. So after COVID, what we learned is that apart from service, cost and quality, agility, sustainability is getting added. Okay, what does it mean? That will I'll explain you. But why we required the sustainability, agility? The reason is that I would like to share some statistics with you. This is a Niti Aayog article. So currently, because of improper supply chain in India, okay, we are losing the 40% of the agriculture goods. So if you convert into the figure, so almost 44,000 crore rupees we are losing every year, because we don't have the proper warehouses, we don't have the proper supply chain. Okay, matlab trucking service and all that is also not the proper. So this is what we are losing every year. Okay. Second is, if you see the example, because something is not in our control, like a tsunami, earthquake and all. So a few years back there is a tsunami in Japan, and entire automotive industry stuck up. Okay, because Japan is the one of the major for the components maker. तो बहुत कुछ effect हुई थी industry को. So these are the reason. So now let's learn in supply chain after COVID-19. Okay, so COVID के बाद supply chain, मतलब in organization they started thinking in which directions. So first of all, explore the options of the multi sourcing. Earlier क्या होता था, there is a single source, वहाँ से material आता था, then you use it. सालों से वो tradition चल रहा था. People are happy, okay. But after COVID they realize it is not a sustainable. Okay, maybe financial issue or whatever the issue is there. So now the corporate are thinking of the multi sourcing. No doubt there is a disadvantage of some multi sourcing, but that we will not discuss right now, because end up you need to pay the high amount for the multi sourcing. Second is the geographically diversity. It's important. For example, more than 200 company of the Fortune 500, it's only in Wuhan. Okay, and you know that what happened in Wuhan after COVID. Okay, in the COVID, so most of the supply chain is disturbed. Invest in a new supply chain technology. What are the new supply chain technology? I will cover in my next slides. But now the corporate is thinking and investing in the supply chains. So for example, they are also investing in the logistics. Earlier it was Amazon is now his own fleet aircraft. Earlier it is depend on the DHL, FedEx. Okay. Now they thought that this is a very important for us and we have to invest in it. That's the reason they have his now own aircraft. Okay. After COVID जो important चीज़ हुई है वो है risk management. Okay. It's now very very important, क्योंकि बहुत difficult होता है supplier का risk assess करना. It's not so easy. So after COVID they realized that there are many kind of the risk, not only the financial risk, there are many risks. So now corporate is also thinking about the risk mitigation, how to mitigate the risk. Okay. Develop the supply chain resilience strategy. This is just some statistics, okay, from Jabil. So what does it mean? That's in which area already I covered in the previous slides. In which area they are more investing. So material, productivities, logistics, price. I already discussed in period, but this is some statistics. Okay, this is increase the visibility. अभी problem क्या हो रहा है? Who worked in a corporate know that. You don't know who is my tier 2 or who is my tier 3. You know the tier 1. Okay, for example, I have an automobile. company. I am owner of one automobile company. So I know that कि मेरे टायर कहाँ से आते हैं कार के. So I know my tier 1. Okay. So मैं tier 1 का पूरा risk hedge करता हूँ. उसके यहाँ पे जाके then I will do the audit. Everything I do and I okay with my tier 1 is okay. But what happen if his tier 1 is not okay? Okay, मतलब for you it's a tier 2, right? तो अगर उसको raw material नहीं मिलेगा, then क्या होगा? Suddenly it's happened in plastic industry. There is a, yeah, please. So there is one company, it's a DuPont. I'm not sure whether you heard this company or not. It's one of the biggest for the plastic resin. Okay. So tier 1 is okay. But उसने raw material supply बंद कर दिया. So tier 1 कहाँ से plastics component बना पाएगा? Because he is handling almost more than 50% of the specific resin जो automobile में use होता है. He is only from one company. Okay. So अभी कंपनी को रियलाइज हुआ है कि दे नीड टू गो बियॉन्ड टीयर 1, दे नीड टू गो टू टीयर 2 एंड समटाइम दे नीड टू गो टू टीयर 3 ऑल्सो. ओके, हाउ वी कैन गो टू टीयर 1, टीयर 2, टीयर 3? Through the digitalization. Then I will explain you which are the technology which we can use it and we can deep dive in the all tiers. Okay. So effect of COVID in supply 1910. So now the adapt of the e-commerce, because we all know that now e-commerce is pushed compared to the previously. Okay, people wants to buy online, whether it's a grocery, yeah, clothes, fashion, anything. Okay, so e-commerce is now increasing. E-commerce market is increasing. Okay, renegotiate the contract. This is important. Now what happened? Each and every corporate think about that old contract जो उन्होंने पहले करे हुए थे suppliers के साथ. They need to revalidate it. Okay, they need to re-look into it. Not because of the price increase or decrease, but the many aspect. Third is the try filling the alternate sourcing option, which I explained you earlier. That's they are ready with the alternate options. So, for example, क्या हुआ था I'm in Mahindra, for example, company in semiconductors, we are depend on one company. Okay, सालों से वही company दे रही थी and everything is okay, but the company suddenly stopped supplying. Then we are not able to roll out the car. So the problem is that what is the alternate? Okay, so at that time we go to the market and find the alternate. But if you, in terms of the automotive, it's a very tedious job because you need to revalidate the vehicle. Okay, it's not easy. So alternate तो market में मिल भी जाता था, but revalidate कैसे करें? So that's the reason now industry is thinking कि पहले alternate डाल के रखो critical components के, at some extent do the validation also. So when anything gone wrong, they have the alternatives ready for the production. तो ये पहले नहीं था, किसी ने ये नहीं सोचा था. Now the company is thinking in these directions. Not all the parts, few of the critical parts. Okay, shortage लोगों को अभी कोविड में ही समझ में आया. पहले shortage इतना समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. In COVID, the industries understand what is the shortages. Okay. So 3 change of supply chain leaders to act now. So ऐसे कौन से 3 change हैं? So this is the Gartner report. They asked so many CEOs and finally they made up this report. And which are the 3 changes? If you are in a CEO of one company, आपको 3 ऐसे कौन से change करने चाहिए अपने organization में? Okay. So first one is the supply chain digitalizations. See, supply chain digitalization is only the option now. Okay. Second is the globalization and offshoring. So now globalization is now in a reducing. People don't want to import the material. People don't want to depend on the overseas buying because anything can be happen anytime. For example, in China, okay, अभी जो material China से import होता है वो तो पूरा फंस गया after COVID and all. Many things happen in, for example, Ukraine. Okay, so जो semiconductor के one of the gas it's important. उसका 40 to 50% सिर्फ यूक्रेन में होता था. Okay, and that's the reason entire industry disrupted. So third is the e-commerce shift, which I already explained. Okay, so supply chain digitalization. So there are a few technologies who can change the supply chain industries like IoTs, Internet on Things, blockchain, okay, and artificial intelligence. So how we can use this technology in a supply chain? I have few of the videos, so I think you can understand it better in that video. Globalization and offshoring, which I explain you that people are reducing the import material. People don't want to depend on the overseas suppliers. So now it's a reducing trend. The reason is that political instability. That's what happened in Ukraine. Okay. Second thing is force majeure problem, just like earthquake, tsunami, COVID. Third is the trade references. So currently, each company has some of the trade references sign off. If the it's related to politics only. If the politician change, then trade references might be changed. Okay. So पहले for example, what is the trade reference? So for example, कुछ चीज़ें आप जापान से import करते थे, तो वहाँ पे custom duty zero थी. Okay. So it's a benefit for us. When the maybe anything change, political change or whatever change, उन्होंने फिर उस पर duty impact कर दी 10%, 15%. Then it's create a problem क्योंकि आपकी पूरी supply chain disturb हो जाएगी. पहले आप जीरो इंपोर्ट में खरीद रहे हो ना, भी 10% या 20% इंपोर्ट ड्यूटी अगर इम्पोज हो जाती है, इट्स डिस्टर्बिंग द सप्लाई चेन बिकॉज इट्स आउट ऑफ द बजट देन. ओके. करेंसी फ्लक्चुएशंस, दिस इज वन ऑफ द मेजर रिस्क फैक्टर. अभी पता है ना आपको, यूएसडी तो हालांकि अभी थोड़ा बहुत कम हुआ है, बट इट्स गो टू 84, राइट, 84, 85. अभी यू ऑलरेडी टुक अ ऑर्डर एट सर्टेन यूएस एक्सचेंज रेट एंड देन इट्स गो टू द 78 to 85. Again, it's create a big problem for you. Okay. So these are the reason people don't want to depend on the globalization and try to make the in-house material or make in India. E-commerce shift, I already explained you, but in e-commerce shift, the logistic industry is completely changed because logistics play a major role in e-commerce industry. Okay, because last mile run is very, very important for any e-commerce. And definitely e-commerce is more about the digitalizations. So now let's try to understand what is the pricing analytics and revenue management. Anyone have any idea ki how Amazon works? Anyone have any idea? Amazon कैसे काम करता है वो? Any rough idea? Ro? Yes. Commission basis. Okay. Okay. Right. So Amazon है ना, उन्होंने एक पैटर्न साइन करी है, इट्स कॉल्ड FBA, फुलफिलमेंट. उसमें कैसा होता है कि दे आर मेकिंग मनी इन दैट. आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू हाउ. लेट्स सी वन वीडियो. Anyway, I think, I don't know why it's not working. I will explain through graph. Okay. So Amazon क्या करता है? Amazon बोलता है कि okay, for example, I want to sell my water bottle. Okay. I want to sell my water bottle. So Amazon बोल रहा है कि ठीक है भाई, मैं आपकी वाटर बॉटल सेल कर दूंगा. You can put in my warehouse. आपको लगा होगा कि Amazon एक दिन में डिलीवर करता है, राइट? कैसे कर सकता है एक दिन में डिलीवर? क्योंकि वो खुद तो कुछ मैन्युफैक्चर कर नहीं रहा है. He is buying from someone else. फिर भी एक दिन में डिलीवरी कर लेता है. सो प्ले वेरी स्मार्ट गेम. उसने क्या किया कि आप फॉर एग्जांपल ये वाटर बॉटल के मैन्युफैक्चरर आप हो, तो यू नीड टू पुट योर वाटर बॉटल इन अमेजॉन वेयर हाउस. वो आपको सर्विस प्रोवाइड करेगा, लेके जाएगा, प्रॉपर पैक करेगा, वहाँ पे रखेगा, एंड दे विल चार्ज फॉर यू. उसके वेयर हाउस में जितने दिन आपकी वाटर बॉटल रहेगी, ओके, फॉर एग्जाम्पल 10 days, 100 days, दे विल चार्ज फॉर यू फॉर द स्टोरेज लोकेशन चार्ज. तो वहाँ से वो पैसे बना रहा है. ओके. उसका खुद का तो कोई स्टॉक है नहीं. नाउ द गेम इज हियर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये 10 वाटर बॉटल है, मैंने 10 रुपये में बेची. 10 वाटर बॉटल आई सेल इन 10 rupees. सो माई रेवेन्यू इज 100 rupees. ओके. अभी 15 दिन से वाटर बॉटल बिक नहीं रही है. सो अमेजॉन आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस क्या करेगा, जो हु इज़ द मैन्युफैक्चर ऑफ द वाटर बॉटल, उसको लगेगा यार मेरी बॉटल तो बिक नहीं रही है एंड आई नीड टू पे वेयर हाउस चार्ज टू द अमेजॉन. ओके. देन वो बोलेगा कि ओके कुछ डिस्काउंट देके भी आप बेच दो. ओके. सो दैट्स अ रीज़न समटाइम वी गेट द गुड डिस्काउंट इन अमेजॉन, क्योंकि आपको तो चार्ज दे रहे हो ना. अमेजॉन को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है ये वाटर बॉटल 1 साल में बिके या 2 साल में बिके, उसको तो पैसे मिल रहा है, करेक्ट. देन देयर इज़ अ डिस्काउंट. तो ये वाटर बॉटल जो 10 रुपये में बेच रहे थे, उसकी जगह पे मे बी 8 रुपये या 9 रुपये में बेचेंगे. देन अनदर सेकेंड बार एक रेवेन्यू जनरेट हो रहा है यहाँ पे. ओके. एक्स्ट्रा रेवेन्यू, राइट, बिकॉज यू आर सेलिंग इन लोअर प्राइस. तो जिसको नहीं लेना है वो लोग भी लेंगे ना. फॉर एग्जाम्पल माई लिमिटेशन इज 8 rupees. मैंने पहले नहीं सोचा कि नहीं लेना है 10 रुपये में, बट नाउ इट इज रुपीज, देन आई विल बाई इट. ओके. सो एक एक्स्ट्रा रेवेन्यू जनरेट हुआ. सेम एज इसकी डिमांड बहुत बढ़ रही है. ओके, सो थ्रू आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस दे नो दैट कि द डिमांड इज गेटिंग इंक्रीज फॉर दिस वाटर बॉटल, सो द प्राइस गेटिंग इंक्रीज. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ 10 दे माइट बी सेलिंग 11 रुपीज़. तो 1 रुपये का एडिशनल भी रेवेन्यू जनरेट हुआ. तो जो पहले 100 रुपये का रेवेन्यू जनरेट होता था ना, नाउ इट्स गो टू द 120 और 130 रुपीज़. तो इट्स अ पैटर्न, इसको FBA पैटर्न बोलते हैं, जो अमेजोन ने साइन मतलब अमेजोन ने पैटर्न फाइल कराया हुआ है. ओके, दिस हाउ द अमेजोन आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस एंड डेटा एनालिटिक्स वर्क्स, बिकॉज दे हैव द ह्यूज डेटा. सो बेस्ड ऑन दैट दे कैन डिसाइड. ओके, नाउ ओके, सो ये तो सब ट्रेडिशनल चीज़ें हो गई. ठीक है, लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द डिजिटलाइजेशंस. सो व्हाट यू थिंक इन सप्लाई चेन सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम कौन सा है अभी? ट्रेसेबिलिटी एंड ट्रांसपेरेंसी. ओके, वो नहीं है अभी की सप्लाई चेन में. देयर इज अ नो ट्रेसेबिलिटी एंड नो ट्रांसपेरेंसी. तो उसको कैसे इंप्रूव करें? लेट्स टेक एग्जांपल कि मैंने कोई चेयर खरीदनी है. ओके, लोग बोला है कि यार ये ओरिजिनल बैम्बू से चेयर बनी है, मेरे को कैसे पता चलेगा कि वेदर इट्स ओरिजिनल और नॉट? इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. ओके, सेकेंड थिंग इज दैट जब आपका मटेरियल कहीं से निकल रहा है, सो इफ़ यू आर इन अ कॉर्पोरेट तो पता ही होगा, वो एक ट्रेडिशनल आंसर होता है ड्राइवर का या लॉजिस्टिक का, सर बस अभी गाड़ी पहुंच ही रही है, एकदम नज़दीक है. ओके, बट ऐसा होता नहीं है, वी डोंट नो. सो ऑलवेज देयर इज अ एंग्जाइटी इन अ सिस्टम कि व्हेन आई एम गेटिंग द मटेरियल. सो ट्रांसपेरेंसी एंड ट्रेसिबिलिटी इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़. तो उसको मिटिगेट कैसे करें? सो देयर इज वन ऑफ द ब्यूटीफुल टूल, इट्स कॉल्ड अ ब्लॉकचेन. एनीवन हर्ड अबाउट द ब्लॉकचेन? किसी को आइडिया है? हाँ, तो ब्लॉकचेन, most of the people misunderstood that blockchain is a cryptocurrency, but it's much more beyond the cryptocurrency. It's one of the tool, one of the platform which help you to create the transparency and traceability in a system. For example, ये Volkswagen making one car. Okay, so कार के लिए they need a iron. Okay, स्टील चाहिए होगा, लोखंड. So दिस टूल कैन हेल्प कि यहाँ पे जो फर्स्ट है ना, सो यहाँ पे वो कार बन रही है. अगर वो कार के फॉर एग्जांपल इट्स एनी प्रोडक्ट, इज स्कैन इट आउट, सो ही केम टू नो कि भाई ये का टीयर 1 कौन है, ये स्टील का रॉ मटेरियल कहाँ से आया हुआ है, एंड इवन दे गो अप टू दी माइनिंग कि कौन सी माइनिंग से ये आया हुआ था. सो विद इन अ 1 क्लिक दे केम टू नो ऑल दिस थिंग्स. एक बार ऐसा हुआ था, वॉलमार्ट, आई फॉरगॉट द नेम, द पर्सन नेम, उसने अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ को बुलाया कि यार ये जो मैंगो है ना, वो आप फाइंड करो ना कौन से फार्म से आई है. एम्प्लॉयज़ गो बैक, एम्प्लॉयज़ टुक अ 1 वीक टू फाइंड आउट कि एक्चुअली वो मैंगो कौन से फार्म से आई थी. इट्स नॉट ईजी टू ट्रेस, राइट, क्योंकि वो तो कितने लेयर के बाद वॉलमार्ट में पहुंची होगी. बट फ्रॉम दिस टूल, ब्लॉकचेन टूल, जस्ट स्कैन इट आउट एंड ही केम टू नो कि एग्जैक्टली ये कौन से फार्म से मैंगो आई हुई है. Okay, so there is a traceability and there is a transparency. Hope कि this video play
What if we could know the name of those that grow our food or make our clothes? If we could see those that work every day to sustainably create the products we need? in a time when our global economy is more anonymous than ever. What if we could connect people like never before? If people were empowered to buy from companies that shared their values, and each and every one of us were able to directly contribute to an inclusive green economy, what would it change? With blockchain, we now have a trusted, secure connection with producers all around the world, no matter how small. Wiping away the anonymity and opening the world of possibilities by closing the loop from producer to consumer.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
Yes.
Do you have some questions I could help you with?
No, I think I'll take this one.
Oh, that's a great choice.
Yeah. I really love the bamboo.
I'll get it started for you.
At Accenture, we believe this is the first step toward making a more fair and better world for everyone.
So you understood what you want to say? What is the blockchain and how the traceability is there? आपने कभी देखा ये? Have you ever seen in any product this kind of scan bar? Okay. Maybe we are in Gujarat, that's the reason. Otherwise it's used to in wine bottles or maybe in some beer bottles. Okay. So same thing happen in Walmart. I would like to tell one classic example of the Walmart. How you know Walmart, right? Walmart is a giant. Okay, it's a very big group, and they are handling the multiple shipments. So to be precise, handle more than 5 lakh shipment annually. तो उनको क्या problem आता था? For example, they have more than I think 70 logistic provider total. Different type of the logistic, more than 70 logistic provider. तो problem क्या होता था कि logistic ने जब bill raise किया ना, so they always in a scrutiny or query, क्योंकि they are not mention everything in a bill. So बोलेगा इसमें ये नहीं है, bill return किया, फिर उसने change किया. So statistics say that कि 70% of the invoice rejected. Okay, and it's a big problem because then logistics not able to get the payment on time. Okay, so they implement the blockchain technology, not the entire for all the product because it's not easy. They implemented a few of the perishable goods product, and surprisingly, this is joined in with IBM. Okay, and now from the 70% invoice, it's in a scrutiny or discrepancy have just a 1%, from 70% to the 1%. Okay, so things move fast. They are getting the payment on time and all. So this is the beauty of the blockchain technology. But we are not talking much about the blockchain because then we. Okay, let's move back to the supply chain. Okay, so there is one is the blockchain. Okay, hope you understand what is the basics of the blockchain. Which are the second technology? Anyone, any idea? You think that it's changed the supply chain industry? Sorry? AI, correct, okay. And let's do the one is the Internet of Things. You must be heard this name, right? Internet of Things. Let's have a small video. It's a small video.
While many vendors, analysts, and systems integrators look at new disruptive technologies such as IoT, AI, and blockchain individually, the real value to the supply chain comes from combining these technologies together. Organizations conducting paper-based business transactions will struggle to leverage disruptive technologies without extensive manual rework. To obtain maximum business value, companies need to ensure they have an end-to-end digital foundation or backbone in place. The digital foundation allows companies to seamlessly exchange electronic business transactions with 100% of the trading partners in a digital business ecosystem. Once the digital foundation is in place, then at that point, companies can leverage the combination of IoT, AI, and blockchain to enable an autonomous supply chain. Leveraging an Internet of Things platform allows companies to create a digital twin of a piece of equipment or serviceable asset. For example, IoT
सो इसमें एक आई जस्ट वुड लाइक टू स्टॉप हियर एंड आई वुड एक्सप्लेन वन थिंग. फॉर एग्जांपल जब कोई ट्रक निकलती है सो मैनी टाइम्स वी डोंट नो कि कितना, फॉर एग्जांपल यार लॉजिस्टिक प्रोवाइडर, वी डोंट नो कि कितना गैलन डीजल कंज्यूम हुआ है, क्या हुआ है, वो ट्रक एग्जैक्टली कहाँ पे बॉर्डर पे या कहीं पे कितने टाइम स्टॉप हुए थे एंड ऑल, राइट. दैट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू ट्रैक इन दिस करंट सिनारियो. बिकॉज ऑफ दिस IoT and it's possible.
sensor information can be leveraged to not only identify shipment location while moving through the supply chain, but also monitor shipment condition. We can also remotely monitor the condition of the truck systems. Artificial intelligence derives insights from information moving across the digital business ecosystem. Whether analyzing transaction information to determine the best performing trading partner or analyzing IoT sensor information to determine if a piece of equipment is about to break down, AI helps companies optimize and drive efficiencies across an end-to-end supply chain. Blockchain, a relatively new disruptive technology, in its simplest form is a trustless, immutable distributed ledger that can archive information from across the extended enterprise. From a supply chain point of view, the most popular use case relates to track and trace and knowing the provenance of goods or raw materials. An autonomous supply chain will help companies establish a highly intelligent, connected, self-aware, and trusted.
So it says that in your truck there is a perishable good, okay, transfer from one place to another place, and the temperature goes down. That's the reason ना कि वो बिगड़ जाते हैं, right? Then suddenly trigger to the concerned person that's a required temperature is certain, for example 20, and now it's higher than 20, okay, then they can take the appropriate action accordingly.
An environment that leverages deeper insights into supply chain performance to refine business processes, improve traceability of goods, and record and secure an archive of all digital interactions between a company and its trading partner community. For more information on how OpenText can help enable an autonomous supply chain, please visit www.open.
Okay, so hope you understand what is the, this is a one use case of IoT. IoT is much more beyond this, okay. This just I'm trying to explain only one use case. Okay. Now, the third technology, it's a 5G. Now, what is 5G? Any मतलब आपको क्या लग रहा है 5G से क्या चेंज आएगा इंडस्ट्री में? What do you think? Sorry? 5G से. Okay. Apart from this, how the 5G change the industry? Sorry, can you speak loudly? Otherwise, if we have mic, can we give the mic? If we have another mic, yes. Virtual reality make possible. Okay, then. So 5G is not only about the download fast. Okay, वो तो 4G में भी हो जाता है. It's not about it. 5G can handle the density. I am not sure whether you are victim of this kind of the incident or not, but while I am in a Bangalore, there is certain area, बहुत traffic congestion रहता है in the peak hours. At that time, I am not able to make a call. Signal is full, but I am not able to make a call. The reason is that 4G की एक limitation होती है. They cannot handle. It's not about the data transfer. वो तो बहुत ही simple एक use case है for 4G, 5G और 3G का. So at the certain level, he cannot handle the density. अगर ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा लोगों ने सेम टाइम पे यूज़ किया ना, इज़ नॉट एबल टू हैंडल इट. सेकेंड थिंग इज़ दैट द डेटा ट्रांसफ़र. हम डिजिटलाइजेशन के बारे में बहुत बात कर रहे हैं, राइट. एवरीथिंग इज़ गोना डिजिटलाइजेशन इन ऑटोमोटिव और ईच एंड एवरी इंडस्ट्री. तो आप सोचो कि अगर डिजिटलाइजेशन हो रहा है तो डेटा जनरेट कितना होगा. ओके, द अमाउंट ऑफ द डेटा जनरेटेड इट्स ट्रिमेंडस, बहुत ही ह्यूज डेटा होगा. सो डेटा को हैंडल कैसे करेंगे? 4G सिस्टम कैन नॉट सपोर्ट this kind of the handle to this kind of the bulky data. It's only possible with the 5G. So guys, 5G will change the industry. जब 5G properly launch, अभी it's already launched, when it's properly in a use case, it's changed entire industry. Okay, in each and every automotive, oil and gas, whatever the industry is there. For example, in medical industry also, because of the 5G, the doctor can operate from the remote location. क्योंकि वहाँ पर milliseconds का भी gap नहीं चलेगा ना. He is operating from some different location. अगर millisecond का भी gap हो गया, then it's create a problem. जो अभी 4G में possible नहीं है, but we are enable it with the help of the 5G. So let's try to understand. तो ये जो speed है, that is known, okay, 10 to 100 times faster. The important thing is a real-time location tracking and detailed data, detailed production monitoring, when is the transport or storage. Self-driving vehicle. Self-driving vehicle, matlab it's a autonomous vehicle. So you must be knowing that self-driving vehicle is only depend on the data, because there is a no driver na, so it depend on the data कि आगे क्या होगा कैसा होगा. So there is a many data in this. So then relative warehouse operations, I think you know it, and revolution in last mile delivery. जो अभी e-commerce is almost is implemented. Okay. The last topic is the sustainability. Sometimes I feel that we are not focusing on it. Okay, this is one of the very very important point we need to think about it. But sustainability is not only about the CO2. It's not only about the CO2. कि carbon it's definitely it's a part of it, no doubt in it. But it's not only that. Sustainability is a beyond. Sustainability is about to sustain you and your supplier. अगर आपका supplier sustain नहीं करेगा, आप sustain नहीं करोगे. Okay, now with the days, there is no supplier and buyer. It's kind of the business relation. So you need to think about your supplier also, that they sustain well. For example, अभी recently China में Apple में there is an incident happened, right? It's a news that. So it's a part of the sustainability. Okay, if your supply is not sustainable, it create a problem. So reduce the environment impact, that's we know. Improve the continuity of the supply. Okay. Protecting against the reputation damage, what that is also, and win more the business. Now I'll tell you some of the companies, I cannot disclose a name, okay, the MNCs, okay, especially in automotive, they link their future business with the sustainability. मतलब कैसा है कि अगर आपको नॉमिनेशन चाहिए ना, आपको बिजनेस चाहिए ना, तो उनके कुछ पैरामीटर है. अगर वो पैरामीटर सस्टेनेबिलिटी के, ओनली सस्टेनेबिलिटी, अगर चाहे आप कितनी भी प्राइस दो, कितनी भी अच्छी प्रोडक्ट दो, बट इफ़ यू आर नॉट फिट इनटू दैट पैरामीटर, वो आपको बिजनेस नहीं देंगे. अभी इंडिया में वो कल्चर, आई थिंक इट विल टेक सम टाइम, वी आर नॉट दैट मच अवेयर, but most of the MNCs, okay, it's already implemented this in 2024 or 2025 might be, they given the target to the supplier कि इतना CO2 आप reduce करो, ये हमारे check point है. If you are not adhere to that check point, even though you are a cheaper, your quality rise, we will not give you the business. Simple. So this is how it is linked. So according to me, as we are a Gujarati, so it's a huge business opportunity. So I see most of the young people, okay, just think about this direction. There is a huge business opportunity in sustainability. Okay, I will tell you which kind of, not now, but think about it. And last one is, have you heard about the circular economy? Okay, so circular economy, this is, I think now people starting implementing it, कि जब आप कोई भी डिज़ाइन कर रहे हो ना, वहीं से आप डिसाइड करो कि ये फाइनली रिसर्कुलेट कैसे होगा. Okay, so for example, if your automotive suppliers, you choose one components, then you have to decide at the time of choosing the components कि recycle होगा कि नहीं होगा. That is very important. So वहाँ पे 3 major parameter हैं कि raw material choice are locked at the design stage only. So you should not use the raw material जो कभी dispose हो नहीं सकता future में और उसको difficult हो रहा है. So at the time of design you need to think about it. Okay. Second is the growing need the end of life material management. मतलब any material you choose, okay, you need to decide उसकी end of life क्या है. If it is not end of life material, you should not use that material into your product. Okay. And third is engaging the collaborative partnerships. There are many consultancies available. Start the partnership with that consultancies and try to understand that. मतलब there's huge investment in these directions. जो recycle material में होता है, there is a huge investment in that. Okay. So this is the circular economy. I think that's it from my side. We have the very short of time. Okay, now any question, any doubt, any question? Please, without fear, ask any kind of the silly question. Everything is okay. Don't think कि ये question, language also not barrier. Surprisingly, no one have no question. Yes.
Hello. सर जो वर्ल्ड बैंक ने अभी बताया कि इंडियन 2022 और 2023 का फाइनेंशियल जीडीपी होगा वो 6.5 के अराउंड होगा, और ये पहले एस्टिमेटेड था कि 7.5 और अप्रोच 8 पे जाएगा। तो जो ये इतना कम हुआ है जीडीपी, उसके अलावा उस पे अपने सप्लाई चेन पे वो इफेक्ट करेगा, इंडियन सप्लाई चेन पे, और इफेक्ट करेगा तो गवर्नमेंट उस पर क्या है अभी ले रही है?
ओके, सो अभी तो सिचुएशन अलग है. अब नाउ द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग द लॉजिस्टिक इंडस्ट्रीज ओके कंट्रीब्यूटिंग मोर देन 10% ऑफ आवर GDPs. ओके, सो जो डेवलपिंग कंट्री में इट्स लेस देन 10, माइट बी 8 और 9%. क्यों? क्योंकि वहाँ पे डाउन टाइम वो सब कंपेरेटिवली कम होता है. ओके, सो वी आर ट्राइंग टू रिड्यूस, एक्चुअली द रीज़न इज़ दैट वी आर ट्राइंग टू रिड्यूस एग्जैक्ट दी कि हम कितना स्पेंड कर रहे हैं हमारी लॉजिस्टिक सर्विसेज के ऊपर एंड ऑल, बिकॉज हमारा एक ट्रक एक दिन में जो जितना किलोमीटर ट्रैवल कर रहा है कंपेयर टू अदर कंट्रीज इज कंपेरेटिवली वेरी लेस. ओके, सो बट आई कैन नॉट गिव एग्जैक्ट आंसर टू योर अबाउट द GDP. वो डिफिकल्ट है मेरे लिए बिकॉज आई एम नॉट अ फाइनेंस गाय, सॉरी.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
या एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? यस, बिंदास. Sorry, Uber Freight. Okay. Yeah, it is already implemented. So you mean to say it's a connect to the shipper to the logistic service, right? Your container tracking system is there. It's already implemented. So now the I think all the big giant in logistics already have this kind of the tracking systems. It's enabled through the IoT, Internet of Things. Any other? Yes.
Sir, how is supply chain different from operations management?
Operational management.
Operations
Yeah,
management.
that's the reason I explain you ना. पहले एक हमारा एक वो था कि supply chain is a operational things, okay? क्योंकि मटेरियल लाना है, use करना है, and then finish good we need to ship it. So what I show the example of the Amazon. It's a kind of that. It's not the only the operational thing. It's about the revenue generate. Okay, क्योंकि अगर if the product is not on a time, okay, उसका for example Amazon यार वो सब हम क्यों यूज़ कर रहे हैं? फ्लिपकार्ट, अमेज़ॉन हम क्यों यूज़ कर रहे हैं? बिकॉज देर आर द सर्विसेज. वो मटेरियल फास्ट देता है, उसका रिटर्न मटेरियल की प्रोसेस भी वेरी फास्ट है ऐसे. सो दैट्स द रीज़न वी आर कीप यूजिंग दिस काइंड ऑफ द अमेज़ॉन, फ्लिपकार्ट्स एंड ऑल. सो दैट्स द रीज़न आई टोल्डिंग यू नाउ. दैट्स द रीज़न सप्लाई चेन इज़ नो मोर ऑपरेशंस, इज अबाउट द, क्योंकि अगर वो सर्विसेज सही नहीं है ना, सो पीपल विल नॉट बाय फ्रॉम यू इवन दो योर प्रोडक्ट इज़ वेरी. आई फॉरगॉट वन इंसिडेंट अबाउट द जेबोंग, आई थिंक कि वहाँ पे रिटर्न पॉलिसी में कुछ इशू था एंड take a time of the delivery. That's the reason it's failed completely, only because of this. So that's the reason. So it's very important now. You get the material on time. Yes. You want some example of IoT? Example of IoT in which logistics, supply chain logistics. So, for example, okay, I will give you an example of the Starbucks. Okay. So Starbucks is enable is Starbucks जो machines है ना, okay, that is completely IoT based. Now sometime you feel that कि अगर कोई नई कॉफ़ी की रेसिपी फॉर एग्जांपल आ रही है, okay, they introduce the new coffees frequently, okay. So कभी आपने सोचा है कि एक ही टाइम पे सब स्टोर पे सेम जैसा टेस्ट कैसे आ सकता है? बनाने वाले तो बंदे अलग अलग होते हैं ना, बट इज द सेम टेस्ट ईच एंड एवरी आउटलेट. ऐसा क्यों होता है? हैव यू एवर थिंक अबाउट इट? यस, सॉरी, कैसे? नहीं, बट बंदा देखो स्टैंडर्डाइज SOPs होता है, ओके, कि भाई इतनी कॉफ़ी डालनी है, इतना वाटर है, इतना मिल्क कंटेंट है, ऑल ओके. बट आपको क्या लग रहा है कि ईच एंड एवरी टाइम हर एक बंदा हर एक लोकेशन पे हर एक टाइम पे सेम चीज़ करवाएगा? इट्स पॉसिबल नहीं है ना. ओके, तो उन्होंने क्या किया है, उनके मशीन ही IoT बेस्ड है. तो अगर उन्होंने कोई भी रेसिपी इंप्लीमेंट करी ना, इट्स ऑटोमेटिकली गो टू द मशीन. तो बनाने वाले को कुछ करना ही नहीं है, जस्ट नीड टू क्लिक. मशीन को पता है कि मेरे को कैसी कॉफ़ी बनानी है. सो दैट्स अ रीज़न इज सिमिलर टेस्ट. सो Starbucks इज अ क्लासिक एग्जाम्पल ऑफ द आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, ब्लॉकचेन एंड IoT. ओके, यस. Okay, good question. So supply chain बहुत ही it's a very wide. Okay, supply chain is not only the logistics. अगर for example एक कंपनी का turnover 100 करोड़ है, okay, so जो उसका सप्लाई चेन जो पोर्शन होता है ना, मतलब इंक्लूडिंग सोर्सिंग, प्रोक्योरमेंट एंड लॉजिस्टिक्स एवरीथिंग, इट्स कंट्रीब्यूटिंग ऑलमोस्ट 60 to 70%. हालांकि इट्स डिपेंड ऑन इंडस्ट्री, बट जनरली के मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्री में इट्स कंट्रीब्यूटिंग 60 to 70%. तो अगर फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर 70% कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है, मे बी 10% इज अ लॉजिस्टिक्स एंड 60% इज अ सोर्सिंग एंड ऑल. सो सप्लाई चेन इज अ बिग. सप्लाई चेन की अम्ब्रेला में देर इज अ प्रोक्योरमेंट, स्ट्रेटेजी, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, लॉजिस्टिक्स, देर आर many departments under that. Logistics is a part of supply chain. जैसे procurement is also the part of supply chain. Okay? Yes? Yeah. So the way I give the Walmart example too. One is the invoicing and one is the transparency. Okay, you are talking about. Okay, yeah, I understood. So okay, so you mean to say for US is different and India is a different. How can we trace the in India for the all this change? It's a possible. It's already implemented. For example, Starbucks is already implemented in a coffee India में भी. Starbucks के जो coffee bean है ना, वो उनको पता होता है कहाँ से आते हैं, कौन से फार्म से आते हैं. सो इट्स नॉट अ चैलेंज एक्चुअली. प्रॉब्लम क्या रहा है कि इंटीग्रिटी नहीं है हमारे यहाँ पे, थोड़े वी नीड टू डेवलप इट, बट इट्स अ पॉसिबल. जैसे वो फार्म से निकलता है, दे हैव द पर्टिकुलर टैगिंग सिस्टम दैट वी कैन स्कैन इट और वी कैन डू इट. अभी इट्स इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हुआ है, ओके, बिकॉज वी हैव द ह्यूज वॉल्यूम, बट स्लोली पीपल आर थिंक अबाउट इट एंड एक प्रोडक्ट में विल इम्प्लीमेंट दिस सून. दिस व्हाट आई बिलीव. Okay. Yeah, so that's the reason I think I don't have one slide. The supply chain KRA is completely changed in organization. पहले जो KRA मतलब I'm for example कैसे मैं explain करूँ, आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है ना, जब आप जॉब ज्वाइन करते हो तो एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है, राइट. फिर वो फाइनल एनुअली वो बोलते हैं कि ओके ये आपने किया, उसके हिसाब से आपका अप्राइजल होता है, दैट इज़ अ KRA. ओके, सो इट्स कम्प्लीटली चेंज नाउ. ओके, सो जो ट्रेडिशनल था और अभी में बहुत डिफरेंस है. बट to answer to your question, the new thing is the digitalizations. If your company, even you, not develop the digitalization skill in your regular work, I think it's a very difficult to survive in the future. That's only the solution. Okay, as a fresher or as a okay. So yeah, there is a very good courses going on in different institutes. I think all the IIMs have these this kind of the courses. Yeah, it's online. I understood your point. Okay, online program. Your point is that whether we should go it or not. Okay, so one thing I will tell, definitely the content is amazing. There is no doubt in it. Okay. But वो important है कि what you want exactly. Okay, what you want, because supply chain is a very big. So there is a two. If you are students, you can understand the basics of the supply chain. But at the experience of the 10 years, okay, now no need to understand the supply chain. वो कोई logic नहीं है. If you have the 10 years and you want to learn something new, then specialization one of the topic. Just like you can go with the blockchain technology in supply chain. Okay, you can learn the span analytics. You can learn the data analytics. वो लग रहा है it's a software, but now it's no more software. It's completely implemented in supply chain. Okay, so there is a many tools are there. So it's depend. If you are a fresher, you want to understand the supply chain, there is a fantastic course, no doubt in it. If you are experienced guy, 5 years, 10 years experience, and you want to have the expertise in specific direction, there are many other courses also going on. Okay, so you no need to learn entire supply chain. You have to decide कि आपको कौन से एरिया में expertise लेनी है and learn particular that tool. For example, if you are in a sourcing, you need to learn the LPP, you need to learn the span analytics, you need to learn the data analytics, like that. So it's depend. Yes, any? No more question? Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you so much, Harshbhai, for that very, very valuable session. All right, thank you so much, Harshbhai, for that very, very valuable session. I think this has just opened up our minds, understanding what supply chain, the future of supply chain, how internet and disruption is trying to do a lot of things. But of course, I just want to end up by saying that especially when young minds enter the classic industries, a lot of change can be expected. In fact, I remember a story of how relay driving as a model was kind of discovered, because for years તમને લોકોને ખબર હશે કે let's say પંજાબ થી ચેન્નઈ કોઈ ટ્રક જવાની હોય તો how does it work is that a driver from Punjab starts સવારે 8 વાગે ગાડી ચલાવવાની ચાલુ કરે તો રાતના 8 સુધી ચલાવે, પછી રાત્રે કોઈ ઢાબા પર ઊંઘી જાય અને એમ કરીને લગભગ 10 થી 12 દિવસે એક ગાડી પંજાબથી ચેન્નઈ પહોંચતી હતી. And the reason was very clear, because it is humanly impossible for somebody to drive 24 hours constantly. And then there was this one young startup which said કે boss ગાડીને તો આરામ આપવાની જરૂર નથી, ડ્રાઈવરને આરામ આપવાની જરૂર છે. And that was a fabulously profound question that someone asked and said that can we do something કે પંજાબથી કોઈ ગાડી લઈને નીકળે અને let's say for example દિલ્હી પહોંચે તો દિલ્હીથી બીજો ડ્રાઈવર લઈને આગળ જાય. સામાન તો એની છે, ટ્રક પણ એની છે, અને ટ્રકને આરામ આપવાની ક્યાં જરૂર છે? And that is how this entire model of relay driving, which was derived, and that literally cut down the kind of transport time that required from driving down from Punjab to Chennai and so on and so forth. So I think when young minds enter classic industries, there's a huge potential for change. And someone talked about GDP. I think this is also one of the ways to increase GDP of the nation and the contribution of startups and supplies. So thank you so much once again, all of you, for joining us today evening. I just have one quick announcement to make. We have some brochures here, leaflets regarding the program which is happening tomorrow of Harshbhai here. It's a full day 9 to 5 course on supply chain management. In case if any of you is interested in participating, joining for that course, all of you are most welcome. The fees is, I think, about 2,000 rupees for the course, and if you're interested, then you may please join for the same. If you need more information on exactly what will be taught and how it will be taught, the more details are given in the leaflets that we have over here. So you could please come and take them if you're interested. So thank you so much, all of you. Yeah. Yeah, one quick announcement, the AMA protocol of feedbacks. I mean, if you've been coming here, તમારા ડેસ્ક ઉપર એક ફીડબેક ફોર્મ મૂકેલું હશે. રિક્વેસ્ટ યુ ઓલ ટુ પ્લીઝ ફિલ અપ. ઇટ વિલ ટેક લેસ દેન 1 minute. પણ તમારા feedbacks are very important for us to kind of design more programs. And as I always say, we promise that we go through them and we read them in our meetings as much as possible. So please, thank you. And please drop them here. Otherwise, કોઈની પાસે પાસ કરી અને અહીંયા જે લેપટોપ પડ્યું છે એ ટેબલ ઉપર મૂકી દેવા વિનંતી છે. Thank you.